Alrighty, what's going on, y'all? AFO, Aaron back again, and this is my week one prediction video. I'm going to try to go through as quick as I can, and I will save my Titans Broncos prediction. I'll do my own little video for that, but we're going to first start off, obviously, with the Texans and Chiefs. So the Texans, my key matchups here: Texans receivers versus the Chiefs DBs. The Chiefs lost Kendall Fuller. That was probably arguably their best corner. And Bashawn Breeland is actually suspended, I think, 4 games for a drug substance abuse thing or something like that. So it's going to be a big deal. Charvarius Ward, he's a pretty decent player, and he's going to have to pick up the slack. Him and Tyrann Mathieu against Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, and who else? Randall Cobb. They're going to have to take up the mantle for Hopkins. Can they do that? I don't know. So that's the big deal. They got to stop Deshaun Watson, obviously. That'd be up to Frank Clark and Chris Jones. Can they pressure him against, Laramie Tunsil possibly, and then David Johnson? Can they stop him? Can he return to his old self? And then the Chiefs offense, you know how that is. How will they fare against, J.J. Watt and the Texans secondary? And the Texans secondary, will they be able to stop Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Demarcus Robinson, Travis Kelce? In my opinion, I'm a Titans fan, so it's ain't biased, but I'm just going to have to go with the Chiefs here. There's not really a home field advantage, but I'm just going to have to quickly go with the Chiefs for this one. Jets versus Bills. So the Bills, they got Stephon Diggs in the offseason. They drafted Zach Moss out of Utah, and he's going to be goal line stuff with Devin Singletary. He actually came on. He did pretty well last year minus his fumbling issues, and Josh Allen's coming up along the way. The Jets lost Jamal Adams. This is not a hard pick, really. I think the Bills got this easily. The Bills have one of the stoutest defenses in the league. They got, why can't I think of his name? Tre'Davious White. I wanted to say Travarius. Tre'Davious White, they just signed him to a big, giant deal. One of the best corners in the league. And he won't be going up against anyone too big because they lost Robbie Anderson. Denzel Mims, I think he's been hurt lately, so he may or may not play. But I think the Bills have this on lock. They just got to stop Le'Veon Bell and Sam Darnold. Who knows? He's been up and down. So I don't know if he's going to do any good, but I've got the Bills in this one. Packers-Vikings. I might save this for a separate video with my buddy Adam. And I'm going to pick the Packers to win. A lot of people will probably pick the Vikings because of that defense. But I just have a feeling somehow, some way, Aaron Rodgers and his expertise, especially with not a lot of training camp going on, will somehow take the mantle. Him and Alex or Aaron Jones, they're going to take the mantle, and they're going to be able to get it over the top over Harrison Smith. And I think actually the Vikings lost. They lost Everson Griffin. They lost, I think, their top 3 corners, if I'm not mistaken. So they're going to have to stop Devontae Adams. Now, granted, the Packers didn't help a lot with their whole not drafting a receiver and drafting Jordan Love instead. But I think the Packers should be fine. Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest in NFL history. I'll take him. If it comes down to it, I'll take him over Kirk Cousins any day of the week. The Packers, will their D-line be able to stop Dalvin Cook? They got Kenny Clark back, one of the best D tackles in the league. How are they going to fare? How are they going to fare against him? And the two Smith brothers, Zadarius and I can't remember the other guy's name, but how are they going to fare against him? But I got the Packers in that one. Eagles versus the Washington football team. Let's see, what did I have down here? Okay, here's the big matchup: Darius Slay and Terry McLaurin. Darius Slay, they got in a trade from the Lions, obviously. The Eagles, I think they're way more talented everywhere. Big key question, I think, is going to be the Eagles O-line against that Washington D-line. If they can get past that and hold them up, they should have a field day, in my opinion. Carson Wentz, he should be able to go off. His receiving core is a little better. I think Alshon Jeffrey, I think he should be able to play. Deshaun Jackson, Jalen Reagor, they got him from TCU. They should be able to get past it if they can stop. Let's see, who is it? I don't know. I've read it everywhere. They got Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen, Josh Sweat, and all of them. I can't remember his name. Chase Young. I wrote Josh Sweat down twice. I have no clue why. But anyways, they've got them. If they can stop that D-line, that's pretty much the key to the game, in my opinion. That's the only key to the game. And I just think the Redskins offense really can't hold up against the Eagles offense. So I got the Eagles in that one. Browns, Ravens. Lamar Jackson's healthy enough in this one, and I think he is. I think they rested him up pretty well. I got the Ravens in this one because I don't think the Browns can stop that offense. I don't think they can keep up because the Ravens really pretty much kept their defense intact last year or over the offseason. They drafted Patrick Queen out of LSU, drafted him in the first round. They got J.K. Dobbins as the backup running back or a change of pace back for Mark Ingram. I just don't see them being able to stop the Ravens offense, the Browns at least. Odell, that whole situation with the rumors about him liking something on his chest. I'll let you look that up. Can Odell and Jarvis Landry and Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, can they keep up with them? I hope Nick Chubb does good. That's on my fantasy team right there. But I don't know. In the end, I think the Ravens they'll take it away. They'll go away with it, and it's going to be smash mouth football, especially coming off a long off season with not a lot of work and no preseason. Oh, man, excuse me. But I just got the Ravens. I don't think the Browns can keep up. Colts, Jaguars. Jaguars are a dumpster fire. That's not even me being biased. It's just true. They're getting rid of all their players. They got rid of Yannick Ngakoue, Leonard Fournette. I mean, who else? They got rid of Ronnie Harrison recently. I think they've gotten rid of Jalen Ramsey, AJ Boye. I mean, I think they're just tanking. They're tanking. Gardner Minshew, he's a decent player. Him and I like DJ Chark. He's a pretty good receiver as well. But I mean, I just can't. And then Josh Allen's a good D lineman. But really, how's that going to be able to go up against Phillip Rivers and Jonathan Taylor and that stout O line on the Colts? And then you got T.Y. Hilton. He's going to blow the top off of them. And the Colts' defense is low key. They're underrated, low key underrated. They got Malik Hooker back there, Darius Leonard. They just got DeForest Buckner. Jaguars, I don't think they'll be able to stop them. Can they upset them? I wouldn't mind it, but I just don't see it happening. So I've got the Colts in that one. Raiders, Panthers. I've got the Panthers in this one. I feel like Teddy Bridgewater will have a great opening game. He's got Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel against the young Raiders secondary. Will they be able to stop them? And then to top that off, will they be able to stop even Christian McCaffrey? And Christian McCaffrey is probably the top running back in the league, or one of the two, because my boy Derrick Henry's up there as well. But will they be able to stop Christian McCaffrey? And I think it's set up pretty well for the Panthers to score a lot of points. And I think the Panthers they'll be able to stop Josh Jacobs. They'll be able to stop him. Derek Carr's just not lived up to potential. I can see this being close early, but I've got the Panthers winning this one. Bears-Lions, this was actually one of the tougher games to pick, and I've got the Bears actually winning against the Lions. And I guess you could call this an upset, or an upset pick if you want to. But I don't know. I just feel like the Bears, in the end, their defense will hold for them. Trubisky obviously is not well liked. He's not that good. But in the end, I feel like I don't know. I just feel like something's going to happen. I mean, the Lions, they have a great defense. Not really. I mean, they drafted Jeffrey Okudah after they traded away Darius Slay. But will he be able to handle Allen Robinson? They got Jimmy Graham in the offseason as well. It all just depends on how much Trubisky does. And for some reason, I just feel like Trubisky's going to not show out, but he'll play good enough to win the game. And Khalil Mack's going to cause havoc if he just lines up opposite of Taylor Decker. He should be fine. And that Bears defense should be able to stop him. Eddie Jackson should be able to do something against Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones and T.J. Hawkinson. They should be fine. And then DeAndre Swift, he may not even play. Adrian Peterson, will he do a lot? I don't know. So I have a feeling the Bears are just going to pull this one off. Who knows? Stafford might be all by himself like he's been his whole career essentially. Seahawks, Falcons. I got the Seahawks winning this one. I have a feeling, the Falcons got Todd Gurley. That offense is going to be amazing. The Falcons' offense is always amazing. Their only problem is their entire defense outside of Deion Jones. Really, um, I just don't see. Like I can see the Seahawks defense stopping them a few times, and Matt Ryan, he'll sling it to Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Todd Gurley's in the mix now. They did lose Austin Hooper, but they got Hayden Hurst from the Ravens, and I feel like this might be a high scoring game. I can see it being a high scoring game relatively, but I just feel like Russell Wilson. Give me Russell Wilson every day of the week over Matt Ryan. Russell Wilson, that running game, maybe they'll turn some clock to not make it a high-scoring game. But I can just see Russell Wilson taking over in the end. And got the Seahawks winning that one. Dolphins-Patriots. New Patriots. It's a new start for the Patriots. You got Cam Newton, going up against the Dolphins defense. And then you got Ryan Fitzpatrick starting over Tua, actually. And so you got Fitzpatrick, and, they had the end game last year where Fitzpatrick threw all over him, and Devontae Parker was somehow going off against Stephon Gilmore. I don't see that happening this time around, though. It's going to be a little different, and I think the Patriots' defense will be a little too much, and Cam Newton will do just enough on offense. Him and Sony Michel and N'Keal Harry, they should be just fine in the first week without Brady, and I guess you could say Gronkowski. It's a new era, but, I feel like Cam Newton will do just enough to pull it off. Chargers-Bengals, obviously Joe Burrow's first game. It'll be a tough first game, tough first outing. He's got to go up against Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram. Chargers will be without Derwin James, but they do have Chris Harris and a pretty decent linebacking core. And Burrow, I'm going to root for him. I really, really love him, even though I'm a Vols fan. He played for LSU. I really like the guy's demeanor, his attitude towards things. I feel like he might struggle in this game. Maybe he'll make it close. I just don't see the Bengals defense really helping him out, or even his O-line, because they got to contain Austin Eckler. He's a beast. Tyrod Taylor's always been relatively, I guess you could say, average, not spectacular, but he does just enough to win the game. And I've always thought Tyrod Taylor's been a decent starter. So I just see him being able to throw it around to Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry, Austin Eckler. I just don't think the Bengals can keep up with him. In the end, might be close game, might make it close, but Chargers win in the end. Cardinals 49ers. This might be a closer game than expected. I've got the 49ers winning. They brought pretty much back everyone on their defense outside of DeForest Buckner, who they traded to the Colts. One of the key matchups in this one, I have, let's see. I actually forgot all about this until I was researching. D Ford, I believe he was traded to the 49ers this offseason. So D Ford, how's he going to do? Him and Nick Bosa, they drafted Javon Kinlaw in the first round. That was a steal, I think. And that surely makes up the loss for DeForest Buckner. And I can't remember the guy's name from Stanford, but he's on the D-line as well. So that D-line's stacked. Still have their linebacking core, Fred Warner. Who's the other linebacker? I think it's not Quan Alexander. He's on the Bucks. I can't remember their other linebacker, but they still have Richard Sherman. They still have Emmanuel Mosley. I feel like that defense is still going to be stout, and they'll be able to stop and contain Kenyon Drake and Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's going to have Christian Kirk. He's going to have Larry Fitzgerald, Andy Isabella. Will they be able to keep up with that offense, though? And the 49ers are just going to run it down their throat. You still have Raheem Mostert. And then they got to contain George Kittle. And now a big key is, will the 49ers receivers step up? I believe Jalen Hurd tore his ACL. Another receiver tore his ACL. I can't remember who it was. But Brandon Ayuk is going to have to step up. That was one of their top picks in the draft this year. And he's going to have to step up against that defense. And I can certainly see the Cardinals keeping it close if the 49ers can't run the ball. But in the end, I believe the 49ers will somehow pull it out because that defense is way too good, in my opinion. Maybe a strip sack. forced fumble, interception off of Kyler Murray. We'll see what happens, but got the 49ers winning that one. Buccaneers Saints. I don't know. This could be another video with my boy Jackson. He's a Saints fan. Everybody's all hyped up on the Buccaneers. They just got Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Scotty Miller's going to be in the slot right there. Rob Gronkowski, O.J. Howard, Tom Brady. If I already said Leonard Fournette. So that offense is going to be pretty good, pretty decent. How will Brady do in his first game as a non-Patriot? How will that defense hold up against the Saints' high-powered offense? They got Alvin Kamara. They still got Latavius Murray, Michael Thomas, Deontay Harris. They've got Emmanuel Sanders now. Jared Cook. I can't see the Buccaneers defense. They did have one of the top run defenses in the league, so they will be able to stop Kamara, but can they stop him out of the backfield? I don't know. Kamara's one of the top in the run coming out of the backfield outside of maybe Christian McCaffrey. So I have a feeling it's going to be at the Saints Stadium. And, the Saints will be at home. And obviously with COVID and all, it may not be a big difference. But I can just see the Saints pulling this one out. Buccaneers might be a little overrated. I know a lot of people are saying it, and I know it's basically hating on the Buccaneers, but I just can't see their pass defense sticking up to it or keeping up to par with the Saints, and I think the Saints might beat them in a shootout, honestly. So we might go over this in another video as well, but I've got the Saints going on this one. Cowboys Rams. This will be one of the best matchups in the league. Sunday Night Football. I've got the Rams winning this one. Now, one of the big key things is how will the Rams do without Todd Gurley, even though he's kind of regressed the last few years, or last couple years, I should say. How are they going to do without him? They've got Justice Hill. I can't remember who the other running backs are. I'd have to look this one up, but they're going to have to do life without Todd Gurley. And how will they do without Brandon Cooks as well? They still have Cooper Kupp. They still have Robert Woods. They still have Tyler Higbee. Jared Goff, he's well ingrained into the system. That defense is still stout and amazing. They just signed, or extended, I should say, Jalen Ramsey. They got Aaron Donald, obviously. Somehow, I can see this being a high-scoring game as well. The Cowboys, they got CeeDee Lamb in the draft. They still have Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, the whole ordeal. I can see this being a high-scoring game, but I feel like the Rams might pull this one out. Cowboys might as well, but I feel like the Cowboys might be getting a little overhyped. Some of the power rankings I've been seeing is having them in the top 5. I don't see that. Now, could they be in the top 5? They do have a talented team. Leighton Vander Esch. They got Jalen Smith, DeMarcus Lawrence on defense. They did trade away did they trade away? I can't remember if they traded away Byron Jones, but he's on the Dolphins now. I know that for sure. So will that secondary be able to keep up with Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods in that offense of the Rams? We'll see. Can they get to Jared Goff? But I've got the Rams winning this one. Steelers Giants. I have the Steelers winning this one. One of the better defenses in the NFL since the addition of Minkah Fitzpatrick, and they have Cameron Hayward, obviously, and T.J. Watt. And I believe they still have Joe Hayden. They still have Joe Hayden, not as good as he was, obviously, when he was with the Browns, but, it's a good veteran presence back there, along with Cam Sutton as well. And what's that linebacker? Devin Bush. Devin Bush, he's one of the better rookie linebackers from last season. I think they'll be able to contain Saquon. They'll be able to contain Daniel Jones in his first start. I like Daniel Jones. I think he's going to be a decent starting QB in the league. Maybe a good franchise QB for the Giants. Who knows? But he'll be throwing it to Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram. One of his favorite targets last year was Darius Slayton. And they have Golden Tate as well. And then you obviously got Saquon. So can the Giants keep up with the Steelers on offense? You got Big Ben coming back, James Conner. You got Juju, obviously, James Washington. Will the Giants defense be able to stop that offense of the Steelers? I can't see it happening. The Giants defense is not that great. I mean, I can't even really name a player right now. Maybe I think they have Olivier Vernon. I think, unless he's, I can't remember. I think Olivier Vernon went there to the Giants, unless I'm thinking of way last year because he was on the Browns. But I'm losing it all. I mean, the Giants just don't have that great of a defense. Um, so I just can't see them keeping up with the Steelers. Last game, my Titans. I'm going to go in depth on this more. Actually, as of just today, Von Miller is going to be out for the season, so that's a big, big deal in terms of stopping Derrick Henry and stopping that pass rush. And then Bradley Chubb, I've been seeing reports that he may not be able to play Week 1. So, it's a revenge game for Jarrell Casey. I don't want to go too deep into it, but I don't know. They can't. I just can't see the Broncos stopping the Titans' offense. And the Titans' defense is getting a whole lot better with the addition of Jadeveon Clowney. And, the Broncos, they were one of my low-key teams going into the offseason up until this Von Miller injury, because they would have had one of the better defenses in the league, in my opinion. So I just see my Titans pulling it out, and I will go over that a lot more in a separate video before the game. But that's my picks for Week 1. I went a little bit long, but thank y'all for watching. Just please comment, rate, subscribe. What do y'all think on these predictions? I'm probably going to be wrong on at least one of them. But this is obviously my unbiased picks outside of maybe the Titans game. But, I've got my reasons for it. But, yeah, thank y'all for watching. God bless, and AFO is out.